What's up YouTube, Capital G here, new format Marketwatch for you guys to check out in this video. I'm not really known for this segment on this channel, but a couple of times a year under crazy situations and circumstances, I will occasionally dip my feet into the secondary market and do a Marketwatch video. And quite frankly, I can't think of a crazier situation than this brand new ban list that, again, dropped at about 9:30 Eastern Standard Time PM on a random Thursday and really just flipped the Yu-Gi-Oh world on its head. You guys know that so many crazy things happened on this list. We had 5 cards unbanned and only 3 cards banned. It was pretty much the exact opposite of our last list where we had like 7 cards banned. This was a ridiculously crazy list, and there's just so many like amazing cards, so many just crazy things happen when it comes to the unbanning fan favorites like Exiton Knight and Stratos and stuff that we didn't expect, like Morphing Jar and Card Destruction. Honestly, I think I should have said it in my video, but it honestly feels like with Stratos, Card Destruction, and Morphing Jar, it feels like the fucking GX era. For those of you who weren't playing back then, this is just kind of crazy. But I obviously want to talk about the secondary market because when all of these things are moving, you know the secondary market's going to move, whether it be cards just losing value because they're banned or they just got limited, or there's been, you know, crazy buyouts. I just want to go ahead and talk about them and let you guys know what exactly is going on. So the first card is Nightmare Goblin. A lot of people, myself included, wanted this card out the game, and you can see already from $10.56 normal market price to now under $6 by a hair. This card has already lost half of its value overnight. Honestly, I would probably sell my, like if I had a Nightmare Goblin and somebody offered me $5 flat for it, like just straight cash, I would sell it in a heartbeat. The reason is, and I feel very strongly about this, if you look throughout Yu-Gi-Oh history and you find cards that were banned pretty much after one format, I'll give you some examples like Dark Strike Fighter, which I refer to sometimes as the real Crimson Crisis, or Spellbook of Judgment. When Konami bans a card after just one single format, we generally do not see that card for a long ass time. I mean, you think that Spellbook of Judgment is coming off the ban list anytime soon? Do you think that Konami would ever consider releasing Dark Strike Fighter without its shitty errata where you don't get to attack with it? Generally, when Konami bans a card after one format, they're just kind of saying that we made a mistake with this card, that the design of this card was unhealthy and we kind of fucked up. That's why we took it out of the game so fast. There are examples of cards that are broken and maybe you kind of look at them sideways like Isolde or Summon Sorceress that maybe Konami leaves around for a little bit of time, but when Konami just axes a card after like 3-4 months, that's telling you we're not going to see that card for a long time. So I really don't think that hanging on to Nightmare Goblin, unless you just want to, you know, play traditional or play casually or just have it for your collection, I don't think that this card would, it just doesn't have a chance of going up in value based on history. This is a card that can probably, like, it's probably going to be on the ban list for like the next 2 full eras of Yu-Gi-Oh, like era 7 and era 8, and maybe in era 9 we'll see the card again. Evil Swarm Exiton Knight. This is a card that, if I'm not mistaken, like Exiton Knight is only in high rarity. So we've got an ultra rare printing, and then we have a couple of secrets, the reprint and the Mega Tens, and then obviously Legacy of the Valiant. And the Legacy of the Valiant, that one is already getting pretty damn expensive. It's not quite doubled in price from its regular price at about $9.50 to almost well, a little over $15 now. But I actually expect this to be one of the cards. Granted, Exiton Knight is still at limited status, but if you look at our ban list and you look at some of the decks that got more powerful, granted ABC is pretty much not going to be a contender because if your A gets bottomless, you might as well just scoop. But if you look at a deck like Heroes that run a lot of level 4s, Heroes going second, they're going to be playing copies of Exiton Knight. And I think that if you can make rank 4s, Exiton Knight might be one of the most powerful rank 4s in the entire game right now. So I definitely think that Exiton can, it could end up being like a $12 card. It could probably end up holding that price. But if you're looking for just cheap copies, I'd go with the ultra rare. Somebody like me, I prefer ultra rares anyway. I think I still might have secret rare Exitons from the days of me playing like Teller Knights. I don't think I ever got rid of them. Then our boy Stratos. Look, this card is pretty damn expensive. Stratos is one of those cards that it hasn't really seen any reprints as of late because it got banned all the way back during Zexal. There was no reason for Konami to give us more copies of Stratos, even though Heroes have gotten a lot of support. They got support with the Mass Hero Structure deck in RV. They're getting even more support with the Legendary Hero decks. And I know some of you guys see, well, Cap, this market price is like $22, but it it says only, $10 here. So what are you talking about? Well, those are for damaged copies. Now, this is the version that I would want. This is the original Shonen Jump Championship version. Like, this is the first printing, which was ultra rare. It's pretty clean, but if you're looking for an actual like near mint version, it is going to run you essentially about $20, which, I mean, it's a lot to pay for, but Stratos is limited, so you're only going to need one copy of the card. And I believe that there were, a lot of the other versions of Stratos have kind of doubled in price. A lot of like the lower rarity ones, like the rares and commons, they're kind of up. There is one crazy one, and this is just ridiculous. Now, this is one that even I have never laid eyes on. This is the Pharaoh Tour promo version of Stratos. It's a common, and it is currently $60. This was a buyout. I actually looked earlier. There were some other copies, but people have snatched those up, and yeah, we got Stratos sitting out here at $55 to $60. That is utterly ridiculous. It's a fucking common too. Like, go get the ultra rare. Obviously, Stratos is going to be one of those cards where a lot of hero players are going to be wanting to play it, so I think that Stratos will eventually come down a lot of the like rare versions and commons, but I think the ultra rare version of Stratos is just gonna stay. I think it will legitimately stay for a near mint. I think it's gonna be like $20. We also have Morphing Jar. This is one that I think is going to tank probably within a week because this is a very limited card. The last time I remember playing Morphing Jar was at a regionals with Dark World way back in like 2006, and Morphing Jar can be a fucking busted card. Don't get me wrong, but it is a flip effect, and let's be real, we don't really see people setting cards for flip effect. It's not the GX era anymore. I did a whole video on when flip effects ruled the world. That was about 12 years ago. The game has definitely changed. Now, there are ways of, flipping monsters face up really quickly, and we do have, maybe some super old school shenanigans with like Tsukiyumi, which is, that card got banned a long time ago. This card can do work with Dark Worlds, it can do work with Dangers, but in general, I don't really think that it's going to see any play outside of a couple of niche decks. You might see some people playing like Empty Jar, but it's not going to be a card that really anyone's going to be playing in the meta outside of possibly Dangers. So I don't think that it can like sustain this value right now. Yeah, it's up $3 for the ultra rare. I don't even know what the original tournament pack version is. That version is probably crazy. The rest of the versions are like double price, but this is all hype. You see right here, retro pack version used to be $2.23 before the ban list, and now it's over $18. Like, chill, people, chill. Here is one of the tournament pack versions. Oh, okay, looks like it's not. Oh, these are heavily played. All right, so you'd have to look at like a near mint copy. But the point is, I didn't mean to do that. The point is, it's not going to be a card that holds its value because I think the hype is pretty much going to die down on Morphing Jar fairly quickly. Heavy Metaphors Electromite. From what I hear, people are saying pendulums are not dead by any stretch of the imagination. You guys remember when this was like an $80 card, at a low it was like $60. Now it's sitting at about half the price. Looks like its original market price from Extreme Force was $20, but it did get reprinted into Megatons, and then on top of that it got limited, so that's like two back-to-back kind of hits. So really I can't see the price going any higher, but I also don't think the price is going to drop because this is still going to be like a necessary card in most pendulum decks. Like, Heavy Metaphors Electromite is the best pendulum support of this entire year, and I don't think that that's going to change anytime soon. And because the pendulum mechanic still has a ridiculously high ceiling, you're going to run this card. So I think that this card will kind of stay at its price. Same thing goes with Cyframe Lord Omega. This is a card that we haven't seen much fluctuation. Market price $9.20, but still sitting at like $8. Market price $10, but still sitting at $9. The thing about Omega is we're getting a zombie structure deck, and honestly, every deck that played Omega before is still just going to play Omega now. I said it before in my ban list video. Omega is one of the few cards in like all of Yu-Gi-Oh! That is completely immune to Master Rule 4. You got Junk Speeder, which it used to make it so that you can Omega your opponent 4 times, but I just think that people will still play the one copy of Omega, if nothing else, because it is a card that you can just summon, pick a card out of your opponent's hand, it gets itself out of the extra monster zone, and then in later turns you can put the Mizuki's back, you can put the other cards back from your banished pile to your graveyard. The only players I feel bad for are the Cyframe players because they got the short end of the stick. It's actually one of the reasons why I never wanted Omega to get limited, but it is what it is. Konami did what they wanted to do. Super Polymerization. This is a card, much like Stratos, I think actually will kind of stay up for a while. The reason is Super Poly only has like 4 printings, and 2 of them are secret rares. I know that you see a rare in there and a common. I didn't even realize that Super Poly was from Phantom Darkness. This is a super old card. Kind of makes sense because Phantom Darkness has all that U-Bell stuff from Yu-Gi-Oh! Season or Yu-Gi-Oh! GX Season 3. But the thing about Super Poly is when you look at these printings, you see obviously Phantom Darkness. Good luck finding that. But then you see Cyber Dragon Revolution, you know, Ra Yellow Mega Pack. Like a lot of these packs are from 3, 4, 5, well, way further than 4 years ago. Like these are not packs that you're going to find anywhere. So you can see why all the prices are basically inflated when it comes to like the secret rares. $15 when it used to be $9. When you look at this one, well, this one's a kind of, well, no, these are also just moderately played and damaged. So I wonder how much a Ra Mega Pack version is for near mint. This smells like it might have been like a buyout. Limited play or lightly played. Let's see if we can find a near mint copy. Okay, yeah, near mint is about $16 and the original price was $13. So yeah, all the copies of Super Polymerization are going to be up, and I think if more people play Heroes, this is a card you're going to see them play. So I think Super Polymerization, as long as Heroes has some hype, the card should definitely stay up. I think that the common and the rare versions will probably go down, but these secret rare versions, I think they'll stay about $12 for a little while. Cosmo Dark Destroyer, this is pathetic. Come on, man. Somebody trying to inflate the price of the secret rares to like 22 bucks. It shouldn't be anywhere near that. This is one of those where I won't even entertain this price discrepancy. Look, I know that no one likes gold rares. I don't like gold rares. I think gold platinum, the Noble Knight rarity, was the worst thing ever when it comes to rarity. But honestly, when you're talking about spending $2.50 or $22.50, save yourself 20 bucks and get the gold secret rare. Yes, it's uglier than sin, but let's be real, you only need 2 copies and you can get about 10 of these for the price of 1 of these. I think that this will eventually go down as well. Only like Cosmo enthusiasts are going to be picking those up. And then again, with the hero buyouts, which is kind of like the theme of this video, ultimate rare and ultra rare actually, a hero lives. Both of these cards have been super bought out, especially this one. Look at this. A hero lives before the ban list. This was a $4 card. Now it is $34. This is ridiculous. And the thing about it is, this actually happens a decent amount with a hero lives, because like the hollow versions are not exactly, they're not exactly easy to get their hands on. And much like Super Polymerization, this is a card that hasn't been printed that many times, or at least the printings haven't been very recently. And anytime you're dealing with ultimate rares, because Konami doesn't make those anymore, you have the potential for the price to just go through the roof. So a lot of these hero cards are being bought out because of hype. This random version of limited removal, which I don't get this buyout at all, $25, normal market price for $50. The problem with this is limited removal is from Pharaoh Servant. That's like the 4th fucking booster set. This card is like 50 different printings. Don't buy into this cheese. But you guys let me know what you think. Are you buying into all of this hero hype? I think that the nostalgia of this ban list with Morphing Jar and Super Poly and Stratos and Card Destruction is honestly just taking over. And I feel like for the next couple of weeks, we will definitely see these hero cards keep their price, but after that, they'll have to kind of show some tournament results if they want to kind of justify that. But whatever you guys think, leave it in the comment section below. Thank you guys for watching. As always, subscribe if you have not already, and turn on that notification bell for daily videos.